Hello, people. It's day 13 of my Christmas, holiday, and New Year series where I'm doing videos for any of you that might be feeling a little bit lonely over the holiday season. Maybe you don't have friends or family to spend it with, so I am here. I just got back as I record this from my holiday with my friend. I was away for about a week, and as you can see on the top of my head, I am very burnt. It was very hot, very sunny. It was like 38 degrees Celsius, which is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Very freaking hot. We were out in nature. It was really nice. My friend has this like amazing place with this like beautiful view that you can see out the window. I even did a coaching call from there and I had like the beautiful view in the background and it was absolutely amazing. I did a bunch of letting go and relaxing, which was really good. Got to recharge my batteries. I did a lot of thinking about what I want this coming year to be like and what I want for the community, what I want for my content and all of that, the direction that I want to move things in. I read and finished the book How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. This book right here, absolutely amazing book. Really good book on being okay with saying no to other people and how to set boundaries. A really good book on figuring out what you want from life, the things that are important to you, and all of that sort of stuff. Just a really good book in general. So as this video comes out, it will be December 31st in Australia. For some of you, it might only be December 30th, but New Year's Eve. And Imi and I, on every New Year's Eve, we spend the entire day and the entire night and then into the next morning sort of reflecting on our year. And we call this like an annual review. So we talk about what we did that year, what we accomplished, some of the things that we're grateful for. And doing this first started many years ago for us as a way to give ourselves credit for the year that we'd had and sort of reflect back on it because it can be very easy and very tempting. And I see a lot of my coaching clients do this where it's very tempting to go through the whole year. You get to the end and you go, I don't really feel like I did a whole lot. I know I did some things and I made some accomplishments and, I have some things I'm grateful for, but I didn't do a whole lot. And we found that sticking that annual review at the end of the year, or you can do it whenever you want, but at the end of the year is when we do it, and just sort of reflecting back on what happened helped us realize that there's a whole lot of things that we often do that go unnoticed or that we forget about entirely. And it's very easy to get into this place at the end of the year where you feel like, man, I didn't do anything, like another wasted year. Holy crap, like I have no momentum. But we found that looking back on the year and you know, processing and appreciating all of the accomplishments just gave us tremendous motivation for the next year. And it feels more like you've already got motivation, you've already got momentum, and you're just continuing that into the next year. So if this is something that you haven't tried and you would like to try, go for it. And so you can just sit there and come up with the things that you're grateful for, the things that you accomplished, write it all down or talk it out with a friend or somebody else, an accountability partner. But it really helps you sort of feel more connected to, I guess, life, the universe, the world, yourself, and all of that, and realize that, hey, I am an active participant in this life. I was an active participant in this last year. The year didn't just pass me by and it feels like I haven't done anything. It turns out I actually did a lot. I just forgot about it because a lot of us tend to focus on the negative rather than the positive, and you'll focus on this feeling of, I didn't do enough, I could have done more, rather than, wait, if I actually stop and pause and reflect, I did a lot. And I have a lot to be thankful for. And I have a lot to, I guess, give myself credit for or appreciate. So that's what we will be doing on New Year's Eve. By the time you watch this video, we'll already be in the process of that. But yeah, that's something fun that we do. Now, let's finish this video off. It's probably going to be a short one. Let's finish this video off with reading out a couple of comments. So Action Savage, who I did an interview with him, he was one of my coaching clients. He says, cute pick, you two. You're all winners, and this year is going to be the best year ever. When he says you're all winners, he's referring to everybody in the community. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody who's into self-improvement. I mean, everybody in the world can be a winner if they want to be, but all of you have chosen to actively pursue being a winner. So you are a winner by virtue of being here and working on yourself and trying. So let's make beautiful things happen. Let's write that. Let's make beautiful things happen. Amazing. Dark Knight 526 says, wholesome message, wholesome community. Wholesome comment. There you go. And I'm even going to capitalize it like you have. And you get a full stop and a smiley face. There you go. Cheek Clapper, which is one of my favorite comment names or usernames ever. This has been the year I stopped being afraid of sex. That's big. Do you know how many people have a weird relationship with sex, right? Where it's like simultaneously the thing that everybody, and I'm talking more in a Western culture, right? But this will apply to other cultures too. But in the West, sex is this thing that's simultaneously put on billboards and in TV and music. Oh my God, so much in music. And sex is all around us, right? Even from a young age, you know? Like I started looking at pornography when I was like, I don't know, 13, 14, something like that. And so sex is all around us, but so many people are simultaneously afraid of it. It's this thing that everybody seems to want, but very few people actively admit, hey, I like sex. I want sex. There's this weird idea of if you just admit that people will call you creepy or perverted. And what I've found happens is no, if you just admit that you like sex, the people that also like sex and are honest about that will gravitate towards you. And the people who are puritanical about sex or weird or afraid, they'll leave. And so you'll screen out the people that have a weird or have an uncomfortable relationship with sex, and you'll screen in the people that are okay with sex or like sex. So yeah, you don't understand how big a thing that is. That is a huge deal, my man. That's amazing. Going to your first music festival solo, that's amazing. You know, fun fact, tidbit, I've never been to a music festival like ever in my life. I've only ever been to one concert ever, and it wasn't really a concert. It was more like just in this auditorium, and it wasn't that big. I think there was only like, I don't know, like 300 people there, and we're sitting down on seats too, so it wasn't even like a normal concert. So I've never been to a concert or a festival, so props to that, man. One of my friends, my best mate, funnily enough, the friend that I spent this Christmas with, he went to a festival like last year by himself too, and he was like really nervous to go, and he just had like a magical, amazing, insanely wonderful time. He, funnily enough, at that festival, met some woman who then like created the, I'm going to go get it so you can see what I'm talking about. Give me one sec. Okay, so this thing that I have framed here that says, I have no expectations, only curiosity. So the backstory behind this is my friend went to a live music festival solo by himself, met a couple of women there, had some dancing, amazing shit, and met one particular woman, and they had a great, amazing time. And then on their second date, basically they were back at his place, and, you know, she was like, I'm nervous, I don't want to go, you know, I just don't want to go too far. I don't know if I want to have sex. You know, I don't know what you're expecting. And he said, you know, it just kind of came to him like some mystical fucking epiphany or something just in his head. And the words just sort of fell out. And he said, I have no expectations, only curiosity. And they ended up making out and cuddling for a little bit. And they just went really slow, and they had a great experience, and they ended up having sex. And yeah, I framed this because it's such a beautiful message. It's the message that I tell to so many people who like go outside to start talking to women outside, to start, you know, hitting on some women outside, and maybe you're scared, you're terrified, and you're like, but what if she rejects me? But what if she has a boyfriend? And I tell people, I will actively say to people, what if you stick this in your mind before you walk up to her? Like, rather than saying, but what if she rejects me? What if I fail? You say, I have no expectations, only curiosity, and I'm going to go and see what happens. I say the same thing for if you're thinking of starting a business or something, and you're like, but what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? I have no expectations, only curiosity. Oh, but what if I ask my boss for a raise and he says no? I have no expectations, only curiosity. In other words, you can say, fuck it, I'll go find out what happens. I don't need to micromanage it and worry about what might happen. I'll go find out. So, yeah, that's the story there. You go on to say, made friends with total strangers. That's amazing, dude. I love that. Isn't the world so beautiful that we can just like walk up to strangers and make friends with them? I did a video a while ago called Talk to Everybody, The World is Your Friend. And I said, if you're just willing to like talk to people out on the street or have a conversation with some dude you met on a train or something, or some woman that you see in a bookstore, like people are so unbelievably friendly. And the world really does start to become your friend when you can just talk to total strangers. You realize that the myth or the bullshit that we were given as children of, you know, never talk to strangers, maybe that serves a purpose when we're really young. Maybe I still don't even necessarily believe that, but fine, you know, whatever. But maybe it serves a purpose for a little while, but at some point it starts becoming counterproductive, because if you never talk to strangers, you'll never meet anybody. How will you ever make friends? How do you ever meet a relationship partner or, you know, sex and intimacy partner? If you never talk to a stranger, you'll be lonely as fuck. A stranger is a friend you haven't met yet. You had your first friends with benefits. That's amazing, man. I hope you two had so much freaking fun. And I stopped my prawn addiction. He means porn addiction, but I guess he doesn't want to get censored. By the way, yeah, sometimes YouTube will like randomly delete people's comments and shit. Like at the top of the so this is the back end of YouTube that only I can see. Obviously, this is like me managing my channel. There's this section here called like held for review, and like the comments are supposed to show up in here, like if they ever get held by YouTube, but they don't. Like sometimes people's comments just don't show up, and I can't find them, and like they're nowhere. And so sometimes I'll see on a video, it might say like you have 10 comments, but I can only see like 5 of them, and nobody else can see them. And like even here in the held for review, I can't see them. They're just like gone. And sometimes they're perfectly normal comments. Like sometimes some of you will say, dude, I wrote a comment and it's just not there. And like all I talked about was blah, blah, blah. I didn't say anything offensive, I don't think. So yeah, if any of your comments ever don't show up, like it might be that. I guess if you have lots of like swearing in it or something, sometimes those get held too. So stopped your porn addiction. That's amazing, man. That's really cool. My porn addiction is something that I'm still working on. I've started reading the book Your Brain on Porn. So that will probably be my next thing to let go of. And then caffeine after that. But I'm pretty good with caffeine. I can go on and off caffeine, but porn is like my one too. So yeah, I love that. That's amazing, man. I've had a ton of love and help. Yeah, I've been reading through the Alcoholics Anonymous book because I find it so unbelievably fascinating. I'm 2.5 years sober myself, so I don't feel like I need whatever. But the book is so unbelievably amazing, and the big thing that the 12-step program in Alcoholics Anonymous pushes, the very first thing is basically like, I admitted that I'm powerless to do this by myself, and I need a higher power. And that higher power could just be the other people in the group. But you're basically saying, I need help. Like, no man is an island, no woman is an island, stronger together and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I love that. That's amazing. 2024 is going to be insane. Yeah, isn't it amazing that we get to just like declare a statement? Like we get to say 2024 is going to be great, and then through self reinforcement or self-fulfilling prophecy, you'll make it insane because you declared that it would be. So I love that. That's awesome. You can have a heart. And then someone pointed out, sorry you have a prawn addiction, man. Yeah, that made me crack the fuck up too. Now everyone's fucking replying to this guy. Fucking hell. We'll give myself a heart too. Good comment, Andy. You can have a heart. Okay, so this one, Ned Flanders, I am going to answer your question tomorrow because I read it and I want to give it a little bit of attention. So I'll answer your question tomorrow. And then this one, I guess we'll end on this one. So sometimes people will leave a comment, and this is just a general, statement to all of you. If you ever want my advice on something, you're welcome to ask directly for what you want. Like sometimes it's very not clear. If you read this comment, it's not quite clear to me what he is particularly wanting out of me. And I directly said that. So sometimes if I'm not sure, I would just say, what would you like from me? It's not quite clear to me from your comment. Like, what do you want from me? Do you want me to motivate you? Do you want me to tell you that you're going to make it? Do you want me to tell you that everything's okay? Do you want me to give you active advice? Do you want me to maybe gently call you out on your limiting beliefs and point out where there might be some ways that you could reframe your thinking to help you a little bit more? Like, you're really going to help yourself, everybody. So everybody listening, this applies to all of you. You're going to help yourself more if you can ask directly, ask more clearly for what you want. So, again, if you read this comment, it's sort of just like a ramble, if you get what I mean. And there's nothing wrong with rambling, but like, it isn't really clear what you want. It's just a bunch of different statements and no real question. Like even the first question with the question mark at the end of it doesn't make sense. Like, how about when I horribly approach them drunk and get kicked out of the club usually? Like, what do I answer to that? Like, what question are you asking me? How about when, like, what do I say? Like, yeah, okay. Like you got kicked out of the club. Like, see how there's no question? There's no direct question of like, Andy, I feel unmotivated. I've been kicked out of clubs a lot of times. Can you just give me some motivation and tell me that I'm going to make it? Or Andy, I feel like I keep getting turned down and it's kind of really affecting my self-esteem. How can I keep my mindset a bit more positive? Or Andy, hey, girls keep saying no to me. Dude, I'm not really sure why. I've tried self-improvement. I've tried talking to a lot of women. I've talked to roughly 100 women in the last year. How come it's not going well? So in other words, what I'm saying here is do your best to help me help you. And so as you become a content creator and a coach, you start to see that comments like this I don't know the guy's intention, but comments like this, the person isn't usually actually asking for help, or they're making it so unbelievably difficult to help them that it's just kind of like they're never going to get the help. So do your best to help yourself. And in my coaching program, we have a whole list of like videos that we get people to watch when they first sign up. One of the first videos is like how to make the most of the coaching and like how to actually ask for what you want, how to directly let me and the other coaches help you. And so the way that you guys phrase your questions or your comments really does a lot to help you. I can probably scroll down and show other examples. There's often like a lot of these kind of examples. Most of you are pretty good at like asking for directly what you want, but every now and then I will get a comment like that where it's like, I don't really know what you're wanting. Like it's really hard to actually give you the help. So yeah, I won't necessarily dig through and try and find another example, but that does happen from time to time. So if you ever have a question, you don't have to be perfect with the way that you phrase stuff, but it's just in general a really decent life skill to learn is like how to directly ask for the thing that you want or how to state your question a little more clearly rather than just like generally talking about something that you're unhappy with. Because if you kind of just ramble about something that you're unhappy with, but it's not clear what you're actually wanting, like it's not clear if you're wanting motivation or are you wanting like someone to tell you that it's okay or that you're going to make it? Are you just wanting someone to reframe your thinking? Like if you don't directly or more directly ask for what you want, sometimes people that are trying to help you just feel a little confused by the statement or the comment or the question. They're like, I don't know what you want from me. And I will always be able to handle that because I just say, hey, I'm not sure what you want from me. What would you like from me? What can I give you? Or I say, what can we, the community, give to you? What would you like from us? I have all these different ways of saying it. But, you might be, a lot of people go through life sort of telling all their friends and their family and coworkers and other people everything that's making them unhappy. And they're always sort of like bringing it up and complaining. But those people don't know what you want. They don't know, like, do you want me to just listen to you? Do you want me to like tell you that you're being negative? Do you want me to sort of motivate you and fire you up? Do you want me to offer to help? Like, what do you want? It's not clear that you want anything. Do you want to just complain to me? Is that what this is? So yeah, you can help yourself a lot if you more directly say what you like. Speaking of direct, if you would like direct help with all of this, I have coaching. The link is in the description below. My video course, Play to Win, also helps with everything we've covered. I am going to end this video right now, ladies and gentlemen, and then record tomorrow's video. I hope you have an amazing new year. If you would like to do the exercise that I talked about of reviewing your year, have at it. Feel free to leave a comment below and maybe say what your one biggest accomplishment was or something like that. As always, go out there and crush those goals.